What up, big kids? I got the legendary Romano here, legendary voice director. You have worked on Batman anime series. This is the 25th anniversary now?
Indeed. We started production 27 years ago.
27.
And we're about to release the entire series, which is 109 episodes, plus Sub-Zero, the movie Sub-Zero, and lots of extra content. And October 16th is when it comes out. So a big, beautiful, new, yeah.
I'm really excited. What do you say is your proudest moment of working on such a show that has just been timeless? It's been surpassing generations, for my generation and the kids.
That's the very thing, is to come to a Comic-Con like this where someone comes up and says, I watched every episode of your show, and this is my son, and we are now sitting down and watching it together. And that's fantastic. Number one, that it had that wonderful effect on the dad or mom, and that it still holds up this many years later, that people still want to see it. And I watched episodes myself and just go, that was darn good. It was a terrific series. I was blessed to be a part of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's your reaction when you see people as kids, they don't understand some of the jokes or the nuances, and then see them again as adults, it's like, oh, I get what you guys are doing.
Well, that was exactly how I felt about cartoons when I was young. When I used to watch like the Jay Ward cartoons, which was Rocky and Bullwinkle and Fractured Fairy Tales, I know I didn't get all the jokes, but I still loved the cartoon. Then when I watched them as an adult, I got the jokes and still loved it. And so that's what you want, is that kind of longevity where you can watch it as a kid, you can watch it as an adult, and that's the best you can hope for, truly.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I still love the show like 27 years later. It's so crazy it's been that long. Is there any other projects you're currently working on? I know you've been like...
I just retired.
Yeah, you just retired.
Yes.
That's right.
So I say that, and yet I recorded a session yesterday because somebody was desperate because they were here at Comic-Con and they needed somebody to direct, and I hadn't left Los Angeles yet, and so I went in and did an hour-long session, which was really fun. I retired about a year ago, and I'm loving being retired, but what I truly miss are recording sessions with actors. I don't miss the business part of it, but I miss the one-on-one, getting a performance from an actor, creating a performance together with an actor and a producer and a writer, and I miss that part, I must confess.
And we miss you so much. Thank you so much for talking to me. What up, big kids? I'm here with Burnett, producer of Batman Animated Series, to talk about the Batman Animated Series. Wow, it's 27 years now, Blu-ray release now?
Yes, it is 27 years. I started on the show July of 1991.
Wow.
So,
dang. Like, time just flies. Like, what would you say is one of your proudest memories of working on a show that is like now generational, that people my age and younger now are loving this show?
Well, one of my proudest moments has come in the last couple of years. I was working on a show called Justice League Action, which was a kids show that had some laughs. It was a fun Super Friends show, and I got interest from writers who were working on the CW shows and working on other live action shows, and they just wanted to do an animated Justice League or Batman story, and they would tell me that it's because of the show. It influenced them. They would run home after school and put it on because it's must-see TV at 3:30 in the afternoon. And that's why they're doing the show. And it's at that point, I thought, wow, it was an influence that I didn't realize was going on.
Oh yeah, it definitely has influenced modern day cartoons to this day, and even shows since like the Batman and Batman Brave and the Bold, all those great Batman shows. We still they hold a candle to Batman animated series for how influenced it's been, both in animation and storytelling. Is there any episodes that really stick out to you as some that were your favorites producing and that really just resonate with you?
Well, everybody mentions Heart of Ice, which was my first script with Paul Dini.
Oh, nice.
And we're great friends. And I would say the first Two-Face shows, because that's the one I was working on. There's a whole bunch of them. I was talking about the Ventriloquist show, which is one of my favorites. It's just beautiful. It's very noir, and it looks like it's painted on black velvet. And those, I like the noirish ones the best.
Oh yes, yeah. Noir sets a great style, and that's when something that's been resonating with the shows is how noir and how timeless it is. Even though it was like placed in the '90s, but it has a very timeless feel. Was that something with like you, Bruce, and Paul, and everyone that was really we wanted to do something very timeless, not set in like the '90s or anything?
Yeah, Bruce and Eric at the time didn't want too much technology, but we couldn't avoid it. How do you avoid a computer?
Yeah.
It's got to have, I mean, they wanted as close to 40s as they could get. And we sort of did a mesh, and it worked out fine. So.
Yeah, it turned out really great. I know with the Blu-ray coming out, is there any like special features that we can look forward to that you guys redid just for the Blu-ray release?
Yeah, they made a documentary of many of the prominent people who were on staff at that time, including me, and from what I can see from the outside, it looks like it's going to be pretty complete. I think it's about an hour or something like that.
Nice.
So yeah, and there's other little special things. Paul was telling me they've asked you can get a couple of his scripts on this Blu-ray if you want to read them, and there's other things too. It's 109 episodes of the show, and so that in itself is plenty.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have the show on DVD, and I cannot wait to pick it up on Blu-ray. October 18th. Make sure to pick it up, everyone. Thank you so much, Alan, for talking to me, and you have a great Comic-Con. What up, big kids? I got Eric Dowsky here. He is a producer of Batman the Animated Series as well as Massive Phantasm. And how does it feel 27 years later to be on a show that still resonates with people my age as well as the next generation on?
Sure, it's incredibly humbling. I would love to say that we planned this all, but to know that each year that I've come back to Comic-Con, regardless of where my career has taken me, I get compliments every year from the next generation, the original generation that watched the show, and it's just it's hard to imagine that we'd be standing here 27 years later. My oldest son is turning 26 this year, so he was a baby, and the series and my experience with Batman ended up becoming sort of a family album for me. And it started my career in the big leagues, so it will always be the #1 project I've ever worked on. So yeah, it's pretty unique and incredibly grateful that we were part of that.
And we're grateful to you because it's one of the shows that, like, one of my favorite shows of all time. Not just cartoons, but TV shows. It really resonates with us as adults still.
Well, we're very glad to have had you, and couldn't have been this successful without the fan base. So.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a resurgence, especially with the 25th anniversary a couple years ago, with Batman Animated Series merch with toys and shirts and everything. Like, is there anything that with newer merch that you personally collect or that were given to you by fans or anything that you like?
I would collect it all, and a few years ago I just sort of went through my catalog and decided, okay, I can't possibly drag this stuff all along, but I think the quality of the work that's done now, especially collectibles, there isn't literally anything that I've seen made that I wouldn't purchase in a minute. And actually the one that I will probably step out and get, I just stumbled upon a Harley Quinn that was a maquette that was made of the title card. That one of the title cards that I had done. And I stumbled upon it and I was like, no way, I can't believe it. So I'm literally, after the con, I'm going to do my research online, and I've got to have it. So that's one that will definitely make its way to the mantle.
Oh yeah, definitely. DC making quality cartoons and shows as well as quality collectibles. Is there anything that you want to say about the Blu-ray that's coming out October 16th?
Yeah, they gave me the marching orders that it's the re-release of the Blu-ray of all the series, 109 episodes. You probably got all this already.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Okay, so in addition to that, I guess the documentary, which I haven't seen yet, I'm looking forward to seeing that myself, because apparently they got most of the folks that were involved in the series. So some of the folks I haven't seen in 25 years. So
wow.
I'm anxious to look at that once it's out. So.
Oh, I can't wait to see it too. I will definitely pick it up again on Blu-ray, even though I have it on DVD.
Oh, great.
Thank you so much for working on one of the best shows of all time.
Thank you.
Enjoy your Comic-Con. Here with the great Paul Dini, producer, writer of Batman animated series, as well as many other things. Paul, how does it feel 27 years later, the legacy Batman animated series is still resonating, and even characters that you co-create like Harley Quinn are a staple of pop culture. How does that make you feel?
Surreal and grateful, and it feels like I did my job, because as a kid, when you grow up with this stuff, you kind of worship at the temple of popular culture of guys like Jim Henson, Hanna-Barbera, Walt Disney, and how those characters have been with your parents, and then you've embraced them, and then your kids are going to embrace them. To know that I had anything to do with a show that has that longevity makes me feel infinitely blessed and grateful.
Oh, and we're grateful to you. There's been a resurgence, especially with the 25th anniversary a couple of years ago, of so much animated series merch with action figures and stuff. Is there any stuff that you collect personally or was given to you by fans that you love that's come out recently?
There's so much I can't even begin to do it. I mean, there are like little tiki heads of Batman and Harley and the Joker. I mean, I've got one in my car, and just the fact that people look at it with the same sense of humor and the same fondness of something like Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse is just. It's just incredible to me, and there's so much stuff. I used to walk through Toys R Us, and I'd see Harley on everything, and I'm going like, she really is everywhere. She really has become Mickey Mouse, you know. And it's like, I mean, and to see little kids running around in the costumes, and their parents and their fathers wearing the costumes on Halloween. I love it. I love it. She's like Peter Pan. She's everywhere.
Oh, I know, it's the best. Like, in so many generations of Harley now since the 90s, between the animated series to Suicide Squad, and it's been amazing. But one last thing before you go, it's the Blu-ray's coming out October 18th?
16th.
Oh, 16th, sorry. And is there any special features we can look forward to from you guys?
Yes, there's an hour-long documentary, and I'm sure that Bruce has broken open the art vault. I'm sure you'll see a lot of development art. I can't swear to it because I don't know exactly what's on there, but I did contribute one of my scripts, which I know they're digitizing and putting on there as bonus features, so you can click on that and you can read one of the very first script I wrote, Heart of Ice, so you'll be able to look at that.
And that's one of my favorites. Thank you so much for making one of my favorite shows of all time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Paul. You enjoy your Comic-Con. What up, big kids? I got Tara Strong here, legendary voice actor who has been in Batman animated series and many other things, from Fairly Odd Parents, just like Teen Titans. Oh my gosh, you're like in everything. What are you not in? That's
The Simpsons.
Oh,
I've never been on The Simpsons.
What the heck, Simpsons? Get this woman on here. Like, you are doing a disservice to society. Anyway, the Batman animated series has been around for now 27 years. What is your favorite moment from working on the show after all these years?
Well, I loved, being in these recording sessions. I would sit between Hamill and Conroy and just be blown away by their talents. I would just pinch myself all the time, and all of the stories are so well fleshed out and beautifully crafted and acted, and I loved the episode Girls Night Out where I got to kick ass with Supergirl. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites too. I know that you, in later years now, you've been doing Harley Quinn with Harleen Sokin, who originally did Harley Quinn. Did you get any? I know, working with her and all the voice cast. Do you still prefer like doing Batgirl or Harley's? I know it's really hard because that's like saying that it's your favorite children. But is there any particular voice that you have more fun with being a good guy or bad guy?
Well, I mean, Harley is of course the more fun, but I also love doing Batgirl. If I ever got tattoos, I'd get Batgirl and Harley, my little good girl and my little devil. It's just such a gift. I mean, how many people get to say I've played both of those characters? So I'm just grateful anytime I get to play either of them, to be honest with you. It's a real treasure.
I know recently, because of the anniversary and everything, they have a lot of new Batman animated series figures, the Batgirl and Harley. And is there any new stuff from the show that you own personally or fans have given you over the years?
I've signed some pretty cool cells, and you don't get that anymore in TV animation, and I've got a couple on my wall at home, but those are always my favorite because they bring me back to when we were recording it. It's very nostalgic.
Nice. With the Blu-ray, is there any new special features you guys did, like an anniversary thing that we can look forward to?
Yeah, there's an actual hour-long documentary, and it's pretty special.
Oh, nice. I'm really looking forward to that. Is there any, I know, there's always something you're working on. Is there anything you want to else promote besides this Blu-ray? Blu-ray release that you're currently working on?
Well, I'm pretty excited for the Teen Titans Go movie. That's coming out this week. I'm going to the premiere tomorrow. That's the greatest thing. And of course, I love doing Teen Titans, and Rocky and Bullwinkle is really fun, and there's still more Pony and Ben 10 and DC Superhero Girls, and I just work all the time.
Oh, I know. And you never age. You've been in the industry for a while. I won't say how long, but you definitely looked amazing. So thank you so much, Sarah, for talking to me. You have a wonderful Comic-Con. Here the interview Lauren Lyster, Robin from Batman the Animated Series, as well as Nightwing. Yes. So yes, we can't forget that you grew up on the show. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. How does it feel knowing that Batman the Animated Series 27 years later, when I was a kid, now we're adults watching the show, and now it's a generational thing. New kids are loving the show, and you become a Robin for many generations now.
Yeah, what's great is I do a lot of the Comic-Cons, and the fans who watched the show originally, so back in the 90s, come to the booth and they have their kids with them, and their kids are watching the show with them now. That's really amazing. I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
I know, yeah, the show still resonates with me when I was a kid and to this day. Is there any episodes that really stick out to you, some of your favorites that just like, oh my God, that really hit me hard or anything?
Well, I loved Old Wounds because I got to play Batman. I got to play Nightwing, and I got to play Robin in the same episode. So that was really exciting. And then Robin's Reckoning, which tells the backstory. And then I love the Joker, the Riddler episodes, because that's where Robin really becomes an integral part of the plot. So like, if you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Those episodes. And I guess I really love Sub-Zero.
Oh yeah, so
yeah.
With the 25th anniversary that happened a couple of years ago, there's been a resurgence of Batman Animated Series merch with figures like New Robin and Nightwing from DC Collectibles. Is there any that you've collected personally or that were given to you by fans that you have from the new from all the new merch that's come out over the years?
Oh yeah, I get all that stuff, and also fans bring me original artwork. I love that.
Nice.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to see you on the Blu-ray release. I got it on DVD, but I definitely will pick it up again October 16th. Make sure to get it and make sure to check out this guy. He is amazing. Robin of all ages, Nightwing of all ages. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you very much.
Have a great Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Yeah. Oh my God, you hurt.
Oh, what? I'm actually more worried I poked you and stuff like that. What up, big kids? I am with Batman, Kevin Conroy. It's so good to see you, Kevin. How are you doing?
Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We are celebrating Batman, the animated series, 27 years, and now it's on Blu-ray. How does it feel that you've been playing this character now for close to 30 years and on the current things with Justice League Action and other things?
Well, I started when I was 10, so actually I'm only 40 now, you see?
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding. But, no, you do this, and it's one day at a time. You build it up over time. I had no way of knowing that this was going to turn into a 27-year legacy. You don't realize until you turn around one day and think, wow, what have I created? Because while you're doing it, it's just one foot in front of the other, just, working on each episode as they come along. Each day that you go into the studio, you're given a whole new set of contracts. A lot of the audience doesn't know that. You sign every day just for that day.
Oh, exactly.
So you never know if you have anything more than just that day that you're there for.
Exactly.
So it's really literally one day at a time. And then suddenly you turn around and it's been 27 years.
Oh, I know. Well, with the animated series, was there any episodes that were some of your favorites to celebrate the legacy of that show that really stick out to you?
My favorite was Perchance to Dream, which is a really beautiful episode. I love it because any of the episodes that dealt with the psychology of the character, because that's what makes him so much fun for an actor to play and makes him so unique as a hero, because he's the only one of all the superheroes who has no superpowers. He's a complicated, dark, tragic character who overcomes the tragedy of life and makes himself into something noble.
Exactly.
And it's his nobility that people love about him and admire about him. So any of the episodes that dealt with that, the genesis of his tragedy, and Perchance to Dream does, Mask of the Phantasm does, any of the ones that go back into his past story, I loved as an actor to play. So those are two of my favorites.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, with the 25th anniversary that happened a couple years ago, there's been a resurgence of animated series and even currently new animated series merch. Is there anything that has been given to you, or some of your favorites of all the new Batman animated series that's been given to you by fans or the studio or anything?
Anything given to me? What do you mean?
Oh, like anything that's like your favorite merch, like action figures, or like there's so much Batman animated series.
Oh, I just got the most amazing figure from Sideshow Collectibles.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yes.
They do some beautiful stuff.
Love Sideshow.
They sent me a gorgeous statue. I love.
Oh yes.
They do beautiful stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I've been collecting the Batman art for a long time. That's a great thing about the show and about the characters. The beautiful artwork.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of the figurines, and I started collecting cells early on.
Oh nice.
So I've got about 60 or 70 cells. I got a lot of cells.
That is amazing.
I love them.
Awesome. Well, before I let you go, gotta have it one last time. Can you give us I Am a Batman before you go?
I am Batman.
I love you, but I must destroy you. Yo, Webhead, you got a slice for us? Of course, anything for my fellow mutated amphibians. Yo, do you have any marshmallow guacamole slices?